Hello, everyone. I am the member of opposition for today's debate topic. The United States federal government should pass the Freedom Dividend, issuing a monthly check for $1,000 for every American over the age of 18, regardless of income or unemployment status or employment status. Funding for the plan will come through a value-added tax and other normal means. So, the first thing I want to talk about is a couple of things that the negative side came up with. The first one being that we already have a lot of government assistance programs, such as unemployment. There's food stamps already. As of recently, we've got the vaccine. There's also like stimulus checks. So adding this freedom dividend, that's already too much. It's too much since there's a lot of taxes already on the economy. The second thing that the negative came up with was that having the stimulus check would increase the federal budget by 50%. So it mentioned earlier that it was at $4.79 trillion was the federal budget, and then adding the $1,000 check would cause an increased federal budget of $2.5 trillion. So an increase of that, which would just make the taxes for everything go up just a lot, which is very bad for the economy. That's inflation, and just things would just get all messed up. So there's that. Now I'm going to talk about a couple things that the affirmative came up with. So they mentioned earlier that so first they mentioned that people are homeless and they can't pay rent, and they further went on to say that $1,000 a month is not enough to to live off of for like hotels or things like that, which is true. $1,000 a month is not enough because hotels can be expensive. However, the $1,000 a month for living costs, while it isn't enough, it decreases the incentive to work, like I mentioned earlier. So, for example, there's people that are living on their own, but for those like students or people that live at home, like at their parents' house or something like that. So for those people who don't have to worry about the housing costs, which is where most of the money comes from, so that really decreases the incentive to work, because if I'm working, if I'm getting $1,000 every month and I'm living at my parents' house, I mean, what more do I need? I don't need to pay for rent, so I guess all I'd really have to do is like food, I guess. But it's $1,000 is plenty if you work at home, and if you're getting $1,000 a month, I mean, I for one would really not want to work that much because I'm already getting more money. I would already be getting more money than I am by working. So that really decreases the incentive, and it also makes it a lot harder to be successful, which I will actually go over in a little bit. So another thing that the affirmative argued was that a lot of people, it was regarding food stamps and how a lot of people, they don't get food stamps, so they need the $1,000 check to pay for their food. And what I'd have to say about that is that there are people that need food stamps, but they don't have it. And those people that don't have it, they haven't applied for food stamps because they can get it. So the $1,000 a month is something you'd also have to apply for. So the issue that people that need the food stamps are running into, so that issue of applying for it would also happen with the $1,000 a month. So if they had trouble like applying, or they just didn't apply for the food stamps, then what makes you think that they will apply for the $1,000 a month? So regardless, they're missing a step in getting the government assistance that they need. Another thing that the affirmative talked about was how regarding the gas prices, so rather than gas prices going up, they recommended taxing just the wealthy class, which sure that works, and it's a lot better for the lower class, but it's really bad for the upper class, and it actually affects like lower class members, and I'll go over that. So basically, this also goes back to decreased incentive to work. So the decreased incentive to work comes from if you tax the wealthy class. If you're making a lot of money and they get taxed, and all that money that your tax goes to the lower classes, well then why would I want to work my way up to wealthy class? Like if I'm why would I want to make more money, just have that taken away from me? So why would I go from lower class to middle class and even like work my way up? Why would I want to make more money that's just going to get taxed because of this freedom dividend? And why wouldn't I just stay where I'm at? I mean, I'm already getting benefit from there. I'm doing less work, and it's just a lot easier. So just that incentive is not there, and it wouldn't be there for a lot of people. So there's that, and that's why taxing the wealthy class would be a bad thing. So just another thing they mentioned was that $1,000 checks would help for like student loans and stuff like that, like students in college with debt. And what I would have to say about it is, yes, it would help fund and support those college students that are in debt and stuff like that. But on the other side, there are those students that are in a lot of debt. Like I know someone who is in, I believe it's like $500,000 of college debt, which is a ridiculous amount. And think of the interest that they're paying on that as well. So there's a lot of people that are struggling to do that. And if you're struggling to pay off your college debt, then a lot of people are living alone, so they have to pay for like housing and stuff like that. So that makes it a lot harder to like if they're struggling to pay the debt, then all the income they're making from their jobs and stuff like that, that's going to go towards living and not as much towards the debt, because the necessities come first. So because of that, if you are getting taxed from so if the freedom dividend is increasing the taxes, then the interest rates for your student loans are going to go up increasingly, which could actually make it worse for those people in debt.